Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and today I'd like to answer the question, what is the difference between Social Security disability and Social Security retirement? Well, there are a couple of big differences. The biggest one is that Social Security retirement is based solely on your age. Once you hit a certain age, and typically up until recently it's been 65, now for many people it's 66, although it can go higher. Number one is Congress changes things, and number two, you have the option of delaying your retirement in exchange for a higher monthly benefit. But it's purely based on age. Once you hit age 66, for example, you become eligible for Social Security retirement. If you choose early retirement, which again would be a reduced benefit, you can do that at age 62. But you don't have to prove anything. All you have to do is prove I am age 62, 65, 67, whatever the case may be, and you're automatically eligible for benefits. The amount of benefits you get is based on what you've paid into the system over your lifetime. So it looks at your lifetime earnings, the taxes you've paid into the system, and it comes up with a calculation, Social Security does, based on your lifetime earnings, how much you're going to get. You can find out what that is, by the way, if you go to ssa.gov and create an account, or go to My Social Security, create an account, and it will show you how much you're going to get in retirement based on your earnings, your lifetime earnings. Ssdi, or Social Security Disability Insurance, is not based on age. It's based on your capacity for work, whether you meet Social Security's definition for disability. It is not automatic, meaning that we have to prove that you are disabled, meaning we have to prove that you cannot be a reliable employee at any type of work. And there are different ways, different arguments or theories of disability we can prove that you're disabled. And I go into that in other videos, but briefly you can show that you meet a medical listing, you can show that you meet a grid rule, you can show that your functional capacity does not allow you to work reliably at any type of job. But we have to prove that. And sometimes I have people say to me, well, I paid all this money into the system over the years, why can't I just tell Social Security I'm disabled and get my money? Doesn't work that way. You've got to prove it. So unlike retirement, we have to prove that you became disabled. Your age is important because after you get to be age 50 and older, it can become easier to win. But again, age does not alone qualify you for disability. You've got to prove it. As far as the amount that you get, generally, and this is a general rule, disability is going to be a little bit less than retirement. Sometimes not very much, but it's going to be a little bit less. And sometimes I have a situation where somebody is age 62 or 63, they're applying for disability, they've got to decide when they're going to go ahead and take retirement versus continue to take disability. And you can talk to a CPA, and there are also some experts out there that can help you figure out what makes the most sense. Obviously, some of it's going to be based on your expected lifespan and so forth, but the amount that you get is going to be a function of what you've paid in, but it's going to be a little bit less with Ssdi. Ssdi also looks at your earnings, not lifetime, but over the 10 years prior to the date you claim you became disabled, or 10 years prior to the onset date of your disability. So if you work for 20 years, from 1950 to 1970, but have not worked since then, you're not going to be eligible for Ssdi because, again, Ssdi looks at the 10 years prior to your becoming disabled. And if you became disabled in 2015, for example, and your last work was 20 years previously, you're not going to have enough earnings credits because you've not worked recently enough. So Ssdi looks at recent earnings, the last 10 years prior to the date you became disabled, as opposed to lifetime earnings. The amount's going to be a little bit less. You become eligible for Medicare 2 years after you first become eligible for benefits, whereas again with retirement, it's faster. So Ssdi is a disability program. We've got to prove that you became disabled. Social Security retirement is based purely on age. It's automatic. You don't have to do anything. We don't have to prove anything, and you simply get benefits. And of course, you don't need an attorney to show that you're age 66 or 67. So you don't really need an attorney because you have to prove anything. So anyway, hope that's been helpful in helping you understand the difference between Social Security retirement and Social Security disability. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to answer those questions. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and a like on Facebook. Jonathan Ginsberg here, and I'll talk to you next video. Thanks a lot.